Please, don't try anything that you're about to see us do at home. Ever.
On this icon-shattering 100th episode, it's us versus him.
That doesn't look like MacGyver with a mustache on it.
It looks a little like you.
MythBusters takes on MacGyver in a quest for truth, justice, and a half-decent haircut.
MacGyver's been MythBusters' soul brother since we started.
The man who could surely build a particle accelerator from old underpants and chewing gum is finally being put to the test. We're restaging the stunts everyone took for granted back in the 80s. Like blowing a hole in a wall with just 1 gram of pure sodium.
This is for love, money, and science.
We'll build and try to fly a full-scale bamboo airplane to see if MacGyver really could have flown an injured hostage to safety.
Here it comes!
Then Jamie and Adam face the ultimate Mac challenge, blindfolded.
Be smart, boys. Don't try to escape.
It's a 4-part battle of wits between our boys, the clock, 2 hysterical henchmen, and the TV legend that is MacGyver. Who are the MythBusters? Adam Savage.
Smells like science.
And Jamie Heineman.
Mush.
Between them, more than 30 years of special effects experience.
Arise, my son.
Joining them, Grant Imahara.
Warning.
Tori Belleci.
This seems like a really stupid idea.
And Carrie Byron.
That is messed up!
They don't just tell the myths,
Wow, I can feel the pressure.
they put them to the test.
The moment is finally here.
Indeed it is. It's the MythBusters MacGyver special.
It's time to take the antics of one Angus MacGyver, place him under the MythBusters microscope, and separate fact from fiction. Are you ready?
The fans begged for it, so we're doing it. Mac versus the MythBusters. He's one of the boys' all-time heroes. But there comes a time when the student must challenge the master.
Ask me why I'm swinging this bottle around.
Okay, why are you swinging this bottle around?
This has to do with the very first MacGyver myth we're actually testing, which we're calling sodium jailbreak.
In this episode, Mac needs a hole in a wall in a hurry. Knowing that alkaline metals react violently with water, he packs pure sodium inside a gel cap and drops it in a bottle filled with water. The capsule works like a fuse. By the time it dissolves, Mac and his special new friend have time to duck and cover. It's all very clever, but would it really work? Just to be safe, they wheel in a mobile, see-through laboratory for the small-scale tests.
Well, I pulled out the birds in a truck. It's got the whole clear side, and I'm going to park that outside Jamie's shop.
With Jamie scouting locations for the full-scale test, Tori volunteers to help Adam build the test rig. With a pulley, a weight,
Yeah, perfect.
a bowl of water, and a glass vial of metal sodium, Adam hopes to test the explosive potential without bringing the house down. They're using an open bowl of water, not a sealed bottle. So if there's any truth to this at all, we should get the show without the shrapnel.
I'll cut that string, break the glass that the sodium's in, release it into the water, and show us what happens.
Pure sodium is so volatile, it could even react with moisture in the air. So, better safe than singe.
That's why I am so well protected from any kind of splashback, toxicity, anything. Nothing can get inside my suit, and with the face shield on, I think I'm properly protected.
Giant Banana number 2 reduces the risk by painting the tray with mineral oil. This gasoline byproduct stops alkali metals from reacting with atmospheric water.
Kind of like a cooking show, except it'll kill you.
Okay, so now it's sitting on the mineral oil. Everyone eyes open, this is for real. It's scary.
The sodium metal cuts just like butter.
Look at that!
Whoa!
That is far out.
So that, oh my gosh.
All right, so
That's just metal.
2 small slices make 1 thin gram, and that's exactly what MacGyver used to blow a hole in a wall.
1 gram of sodium. It looks so innocuous. It's part of table salt, for crying out loud.
Good luck.
I'll see you at the shield.
Be careful.
Hey, Adam's middle name is Careful. Then again, his last name is... well, let's get on with it. They'll do this test twice. First, with the vial sitting on top of the water.
So this is sodium surface test in 3, 2, 1.
Wah, wah.
No, it's going to take a second.
There you go.
That was cool. It wasn't a single reaction. It was like a pow, pow, pow. which actually lends credence to the MacGyver clip in which there are 2 bangs, not just one.
But will this bonsai 4th of July ever be big enough to blow a man-sized hole through solid masonry? The boys repeat the test with a sodium vial immersed in water.
From what I understand from the science, being under the water is probably going to be less of a reaction than being on top of the water.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, let's find out.
This is sodium underwater. In 3, 2, 1. That looks like it worked.
Yeah. Whoa! That was a bigger one.
Yeah.
You have to wonder if Adam ever gets tired of being wrong. MacGyver got it right, and that's a good enough result for Jamie to call in the contractors.
Okay, you guys are gonna build a wall. We're gonna blow it up, but do a good job anyway. Let's go.
The scenery goes up in short time, and the stagehands await the star's brown carpet entrance. Today, the part of MacGyver will be played by Buster, once Jamie's made him decent. But pants don't always make the man. In this case, it's all about the hair.
That doesn't look like MacGyver with a mustache on it.
It looks a little like you.
Okay. Now, he buried the jar in the sand, right?
Yeah, but he kind of like, he did this, and then he did this.
Okay.
That kind of thing. So we just need a couple more bags that are cut open to make this look kind of good.
They've replicated the scene as best they can, but Adam's added a magnet to the trigger, so the boys can be sure they're safe behind the blast screen.
I put a little tiny bit of metal that will be in this pill in addition to the sodium. It's actually ferrous, which means it will be magnetized. I'll prep the sodium like this. I'll fill the bottle with water. When we're just about ready to go, I will carefully, ever so carefully, screw this down on top, retreat to behind the safety shield.
Then pull the magnet off the screw cap, dropping the pill in the water, and hopefully proving you can trust everything you see on TV. Next up, Carrie, Grant, and Tori try to emulate one of Mac's most ambitious ever builds.
MacGyver's gonna be so proud of us.
And they learn firsthand it's a long drop if they get it wrong.
Picture this. Mac G is stuck on a Colombian building site. Bad guys are approaching fast. He has to escape. What does he do? The only things around him, bamboo, duct tape, garbage bags, cement mixer.
What, no cars?
Conveniently no cars.
All right, so what does he do?
Wasn't it obvious? He builds an ultralight.
Given the right materials, there's almost no end to MacGyver's ingenuity.
You're doing good.
Imprisoned and surrounded, there's just one way to get the guy with a broken leg to freedom. Scratch build a 2-man airplane. They've seen how Mac did it, but it's worth giving some real ultralights the once-over.
I'm not sure if we have the right stuff. I just hope we don't have the wrong stuff.
Please take a moment to locate your emergency exits, keeping in mind that the emergency exits may be behind you.
One by one, Carrie, Grant, Tori, and their instructor pilots take to the air. Even by MythBusters' lofty standards, this is the thrill of a lifetime. But it's not just about the pilot. These frames are made from high-grade aluminum, not bamboo. The wings are made from nylon, not trash bags. And the engines are rated at 65 horsepower, 7 times more powerful than the motor Mac swiped from a cement mixer.
Oh my God.
Are they scared yet? You betcha.
Cool! Yeah!
3 perfect 3-point landings.
Oh my God.
But they know this is as good as it gets. Our intrepid co-pilots can bet all their frequent flyer points that their MacGyver knockoff won't be quite so reliable.
I think if I've learned anything today, it's that this is a very masterful piece of equipment. And I don't know if I can build something in 4 hours that's going to do the same thing.
There's no way anyone can build a full-size working airplane in 4 hours, or like 4 days. Still, the MythBusters have all they need to build this baby MacGyver style.
I don't know if this thing's gonna fly, but it's definitely gonna stay together. I think we start building everything out of bamboo and duct tape.
Carrie's concerned that MacGyver's wings look too flat, not the classic airfoil shape that makes powered flight possible. She's also worried about the sheer size of Mac's rear end.
Everything I'm building is completely based on the measurements that MacGyver calls out. The 9x6 tailpieces look ridiculous. So in the spirit of MacGyverism, and to make this really work and give this any chance of flying, I'm going to slightly tweak the dimensions and make them proportional to an actual ultralight.
Meantime, Grant's found himself a puny 9-horsepower cement mixer engine, just like the one Mac used. And fitted a wooden propeller. At the very least, this mini motor needs to be strong enough to push the plane along the ground towards the cliff. But Mac faced the same problem. The cement mixer engine was too small to get him airborne. But once the plane dropped off the cliff, it did sustain flight. It's an added incentive to make sure this trash bag tricycle can at least glide to safety. And so far, it all seems to be working. The tape and wire connections are holding fast. And the moving parts are, well, moving.
I was a little unsure about the whole bamboo and duct tape construction, but after putting some of this together and seeing how sturdy it is, I'm feeling like it's going to be strong enough to hold up those wings.
But will the wings work?
Ta-da!
Perfect. Beautiful. I love it. It's going to work.
Carrie's bent some skinny bamboo to make an airfoil. But now she's had a crisis of confidence. Call it builder's remorse.
I have a feeling this thing is going to plummet to the ground like a rock. I went from totally optimistic to a little sketchy.
Tori's confident enough to set that front barrow wheel on the frame,
Fair enough.
while Carrie begins the long and laborious task of taping all that plastic to the bamboo frame. Finally, Tori bolts on the tiny engine.
Perfect.
The build has taken 3 and a bit days, not 4 hours. So that's one part of this MacGyver myth well and truly busted. Then there's that awkward pause when someone really should offer to fly the darn thing. No one does, and you can't blame them. So Grant rigs up an RC unit.
MacGyver was using his feet to steer the rudder, but since none of us are going to be able to fly it, I've got this radio control system here. And so I move the stick, it moves the servo, and these lines pull on the rudder, moving that back and forth.
This is a rare moment in MythBusters history. The whole build has gone off without a hitch.
It's not that heavy.
It's not breaking.
That's good.
Now all they have to do is make it fly.
MacGyver's going to be so proud of us.
Coming up, Adam and Jamie test their sodium explosive on the bomb range.
I think the wall might be gone.
And you can bet they won't be leaving until they're knee-deep in rubble. Adam and Jamie are testing an explosive MacGyver myth. That 1 gram of reactive sodium metal packed in a pill and dropped in water could blow through a wall.
3, 2, 1.
They huddle behind the blast shield, waiting for that gel cap to dissolve so the sodium hits the H2O.
In less than a minute, we should see something. 50 seconds. It should happen any second now. Isn't it always like this? 110.
So what are we going to do if it doesn't blow up?
I say we, wait the requisite 20 minutes and then approach it very cautiously.
After half an hour, there's nothing doing.
Pick your arm here.
So Jamie rents out the latest in this season's line of bomb suits.
I feel like I'm ready to go out clubbing.
One small step for a man, one giant chance for Adam to sully the moment.
It's not dissimilar from how Jimmy was dressed when he first came to Earth.
Odds are the reaction has occurred, but wasn't strong enough to break the bottle. Adam's already run some time trials to see just how long it takes a cap to dissolve in water. He filled this one with red pepper.
What we found on the show is that one of the most dangerous things that can happen is nothing.
And nothing is exactly what happened.
We're at almost half an hour and my gel cap still has not dissolved. That's going to be a long time for us to wait out on the site. So I'm going to try a second bottle full of hot tap water.
And that did the trick. Just 90 seconds later, catastrophic capsule failure.
It's just about to fail. There it goes.
They also used hot water on the bomb site, so surely Jamie's in no danger from a delayed reaction. Still, best policy is a quick prod with a hazmat-approved poking broom. It's not long before Adam gets the all clear.
Well, it certainly looks like some reaction has happened. I don't see any sodium, and we put it in there, so the reaction happened without breaking the bottle.
Sadly, this is just what they predicted.
We saw a reaction in the lab, and it looks good, but a lot of times a little smoke, a little pop, or a little poof is, it's more bark than bite.
Sorry, Mac, but 1 gram of pure sodium won't blow a hole through toilet paper. And we've still got a wall to destroy.
So what are we doing?
Well, we're going to try and blow another hole in the wall, except I'm going to use a lot more sodium and a much bigger pill.
What, is that for a horse?
It is, in fact, for a horse.
Adam packs his horse pill with 100 grams of sodium metal.
A lot of sodium.
If there's any truth to the TV myth, this should settle things once and for all.
It's a dangerous amount of sodium to put in water. So I'm expecting big things from this.
Aren't we all? And
2, 1. I hate this. Nothing's happening.
4.5 minutes later, the pill finally pops.
The point of failure was, of course, the wind. Whoa!
2 explosions. Still barely enough to uncap the bottle.
Look, that's what's left of the gelatin capsule. That was an explosion, but this is not a high explosive.
But Adam and Tori pre-tested another alkaline metal that's even more volatile than sodium. It's called potassium.
And 3, 2, 1. Oh!
Hey, that was a good one. Still going. Whoa! Yeah! That was the best one so far.
Potassium definitely gives a bigger bang than sodium. So how can we resist a field test?
And our plan is to introduce potassium, which is far more reactive than sodium, into water in a metal pipe. Boom!
When we did the thing with the sodium, we used a chunk about the size of my thumb. This time we're going to be using a bunch of potassium, about this much.
That's 500 grams of pure potassium. The Mac myth was 1 gram of less reactive sodium.
Now he's pushing the mortar up against the wall so that the only place the energy can go is right at that wall.
MacGyver never had it so good.
This is for love, money, and science. 500 grams of potassium. 3, 2, 1. Wow!
Well, that didn't make us wait.
It's a great show, but the wall hasn't budged.
MacGyver, my brother, my compadre, we have to take him down on this one.
We've sidestepped this result for far too long. It's absolutely, positively busted. But Jamie and Adam still have a wall to bring down.
We came here to get a hole in the wall, and darn it, we're going to get a hole in the wall. When in doubt, C4.
The great thing about working with JD is that when we say we want a hole in the wall, all he says is, how big?
JB rolls out the wire and sets the charge. This is how you unbuild a wall.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, that whole wall went away.
I think the wall might be gone. Sorry about that.
The wall is rubble, but Buster MacGyver is still sitting pretty.
It knocked MacGyver's mullet right off his head.
But not the stash.
It's pretty definitive what it takes to get through a wall. And the alkaline metals just ain't it. So, how did MacGyver do? Well, I'll tell you what I love about him is that his basic premise that alkaline metals are reactive with water is sound.
Yeah, but the idea that you can use them to blow a hole in the wall, totally busted.
Busted. Busted. We had so much fun doing the MacGyver episode, we made way too much material for one show. If you want to see the extra stuff, log on to discovery.com/MythBusters and see the other things we did.
After the break, the biggest day in aviation since Kitty Hawk.
It's working! Of course it's working. Everything I make works.
Will this bamboo Boeing soar like an eagle or drop like a dodo? In this, our 100th episode, Tori, Carrie, and Grant have finished one of the great backyard builds of all time. They've made their own airplane.
We're not flying economy anymore.
In tribute to kindred spirit Angus MacGyver. Now they need a place to launch it, and Tykert Aggregates has graciously supplied the runway and the cliff. This is a working quarry. A quarry that has one perfectly perilous 150-foot drop.
I am elated. I cannot believe we found such a perfect location. A flat road to a sheer drop-off, just like in the MacGyver clip. So excited to finally do this myth. This is my new favorite myth to do.
So they're almost ready to push this thing off a cliff as high as a 15-story building. MacGyver would be proud as punch.
Welcome to MythBusters. We are proud to say that we have a 100% crash rate. I'm sure you remember brace position. I'm scarred for life. Then we had jet taxi, where a small aircraft got blown by a 747 engine 100 feet down a runway and over end. This might be the first MythBusters safe landing. Or It might not.
Okay, we all know that history is often more instructive than inspirational. And that prompts Grant to one last try.
Where are the seatbelts?
With Carrie and Tori as human ballast, he'll test the engine one more time. Grant checks his remote responses.
MacGyver to tower. Are we free for takeoff?
Clear prop.
Ooh, look at that! Hold on tight. This could be really good or really, really bad.
It's highly unlikely they'll take off, but they are ready to roll. 12 seconds later, Grant cuts the engine. It's a total success.
We weren't going fast enough to get lip.
Yeah.
But if we get going fast enough to get off that cliff, we might actually get flight.
Oh my God! We MacGyvered it! We MacGyvered it!
They sure did. Now Buster and his partner in pain get taped into the cockpit.
Ah, there we go.
Nice.
All right.
We're just minutes away from the launch. Hopes are high, but predictions are predictably mixed.
I actually think there is a fair chance that we'll be able to get some sort of sustained flight.
I think this thing is going to go down the runway, get to the edge of the cliff, go off, but I'm afraid it's just going to fall flat and crash.
I have gone back and forth between it's gonna fly and it's not gonna fly.
That's a definite maybe from Carrie, and a fair assessment of their chances. Tori starts the engine, removes the chocks, and runs for cover.
Run, run!
4 days' work, and MacGyver's reputation will be junked or justified in the next 5 seconds.